Hello. We're gonna do a little factoring today. So, quadratics. We're gonna factor a quadratic equation. That was a terrible end. It happens. Uh, for the purposes of the video, let's see. What should we do? Let's do f of x is equal to x squared plus I should have had this figured out before we did this, huh? X squared plus 8x plus 12. All right. So now, first things first. You're going to take your x squared, so your first term, and your constant, and you're going to multiply them. Then we're going to go over here, and we're going to make our x, remember? And we're going to put our multiplier up there, and we're going to put our addition, which isn't like really addition because you're just taking your middle term. So we're going to put our multiplier up there. So that is 12x squared is our multiplier. And then in the middle, right, you're just going to take your middle term and you're going to put that down here, 8x. So then, now, I guess, is the better now. You're going to make your little table. You're going to make a table. And I want you to remember while you're watching this video, hang on, let me write this down first. So what multiplies together to get 12x squared and what adds together to get 8x. And so now you're just going to write down the factors of, 12x. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger for the moment. What was I going to tell you? Remember while you're watching the video, what adds together. So now we're going to write down the factors of 12. So remember while you're watching the video that you can rewind it, right? Like you can rewind it, you can pause it, you can go back, you can do all the things. Okay, so we've got 1 and 12 does not add together to get 8. And then we have 2 and 6, which does add together to get 8. So now we have our two factors. So we're going to take that one. And so we're going to write 2x here and 8x there. All right? So now we have our two factors that add together. Oh my gosh. Why didn't you say something? Because I can't hear you, Miss Daly. Or because you can't hear me, Miss Daly. That was ridiculous. That should be a 6. Okay. 2 and 6. Duh. Silly. I forget. I get distracted sometimes. So now we're just going to move down a little bit on our paper. We can still see our chart. And we're going to make a box. Okay. And we're going to bring this back together a little bit. And rewrite the things. So I'm going to replace the f of x with 0 because while we're solving, we're solving actually for 0. But we want to have it different, right? Okay, we're at 5 minutes. So I'm going to try and get this done in the next. I'm going to try not to make this longer than 8 minutes for you. Okay, so now we're switching it up a little. So now you're going to fill in your box. So you've got your x squared in one corner. And you have your constant, right? Your last term in the other corner. Always remember, it doesn't matter which corner those two things are in, as long as they're in opposite corners, okay? Now, you're going to take the two terms that you uncovered, your 2x and your 6x, and you're going to put them in the other corners. And now you're just going to factor, okay? And because what we're looking for, right, is your 0 and your 2 factors. So, x squared and 6x, they have an x in common. And we know that because it's an x squared, because there's no coefficient in front of the x squared, we know that both of those things are going to be x. That's just like, we know. So 2x and 12, the greatest common factor that they have is 2, right? And 6x and 12, so we're doing this one, 6x and 12. The greatest common factor that they have is 6. So now you have your 2 factors, and you're just going to put them in your parentheses. So you have x plus 2 and x plus 6. And when you FOIL, I'm not going to do that for you because we're already at 8 minutes. But remember, if you FOILed then, right? If you FOILed with your, we will draw it. I'll draw the lines, even though we're not going to do the math. If you FOILed it out, so you multiplied your x times your things, times x and x times 6, and your 2 times x, and your 2 times 6, you would end up with your original equation. So there's some factoring. Let me know if you have any questions.